Passion, aggression, respect, and reflection. That's what the weekend is about. The points may not be important. It's blue versus red. It's Chelsea versus Liverpool. Hi, and welcome to All Balls, the show that keeps you up to date with all the Premier League action and fantasy football tips. We are previewing all the matches of game week 2. Beside me is Rahul Bell. How
How's
are
it
you
going?
doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Back in the jersey.
I mean, we're playing this weekend, so why not?
After sitting out the first weekend due to fatigue.
Yeah, I mean,
okay. Anyway,
we played more in Europe. Oh, sorry.
We'll come back to that, but we are talking about Chelsea versus Liverpool. So, Chelsea versus Liverpool at the bridge.
I mean, there's already some all balls started there between Klopp and Lampard with a war of words about
That
the
is true.
signings and the transfers. But I mean, do they? Do they really need to do that? I mean, Klopp has a lot to say about Lampard, but he has Thiago in the pipeline. What do you think
I
of
think
that?
they're just taking a friendly dig at each other. But I think that Klopp makes a lot of sense when he says that, Chelsea have the money and they've spent it, and why not?
Yeah, why not? I mean,
Yeah.
But what do you think about Thiago?
Well, I think it's going to be a great signing. I think it's almost done. I'm not too sure, but I think overall it's going to add so much more in their midfield, give them that entire push which they
Help
need.
them keep the ball for more longer.
Keep the ball and probably not wait to always get the winners in the end. I think they'll be much more. Thiago is amazing. There's nothing too much to be said about him. He's just phenomenal.
I mean, but that fixes the midfield. What about the defense? Because after the restart, I mean, people said that, Liverpool title in the bag, they took it easy, foot off the pedal. But now, even in the first game, still conceding 3. What do you think about that?
I think that the best players, Robertson, Trent, Alexander, and Van Dijk, I think they are players who will realize their mistakes and they'll be back at it. And I'm sure that I'm very confident that Liverpool is going to go out, hammer and tongs in this entire game. I think that I don't think that they'll concede so many goals. I think it'll probably be a comfortable win for Liverpool. And I'm actually more worried about how Chelsea set up and how Chelsea is going to take the game to them. I mean,
yeah, Chelsea at the back seems dicey with, you still, Thiago Silva still in the balance whether he'll play or not.
Yeah.
I mean, Kepa in goal, statue.
Yeah.
Not moving. And
Yeah.
I mean, you have Liverpool with Mane and Salah who will bang it in from anywhere. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, Salah being, he had the most number of chances, I think, in the first game. So, in the attacking way, they do have that. They do have a Firmino who has, a better away record than a home record. They have an Alexander-Arnold who accompanies Firmino in the fact that they've scored in both games against Chelsea last season. So, you think that is going to be a decisive factor?
Yeah.
Kepa, one, and the left back. I mean, you see Azpilicueta coming back?
I see Azpilicueta definitely coming back. I also I don't think that Thiago Silva will be involved in this game because probably it's too soon for him to be rushed into this game. But overall, I think that what Chelsea honestly will have to do is they'll probably have to get Kovacic in the game to keep the ball a little more. He's that strong figure in the midfield.
And replace Loftus-Cheek because he didn't have his best game.
Yeah,
probably that also will help
Yeah.
a Kai Havertz or a Mason Mount come more towards the centre.
Yeah, I think it'll be very interesting to see. Liverpool, we already know, but I think it's going to be very interesting to see the way Chelsea set up in this game, in a big game, with what kind of mentality. Are they going to go? Are they going to play on the counter? Are they going to take the game to Liverpool? I mean, it's all to be seen.
So, I mean, considering that Chelsea's won their last 6 games at home, what do you think is going to happen with this game? I mean, the points don't matter at this point in time, but what are your predictions?
Chelsea haven't beaten Liverpool in the last 3 games of the Premier League, so I go Liverpool. I think it's going to be a 3-1 to Liverpool.
Oh, that much?
Yeah.
I mean, it's Chelsea, then Arsenal's not playing.
Well, on to United versus Crystal Palace.
Okay,
How
I'm
you
ready.
doing?
Yeah, we're
How's
ready.
it going?
It's good.
Okay, first just tell me something. That what do you want now? Like, what do you want with United this season?
To beat you for starters.
Let's be more realistic anyway.
Realistic is not beating Arsenal?
Yeah, probably not in the last couple of
I'll
years.
send you that clip from last
Sure,
time.
but
no, I mean, I want United first to bench Fred. I cannot see that man on the field. I cannot stand him on the field. And probably, I mean, just get tighter at the back and play some good football since you have the players.
I'm asking you, what are your season's objectives?
Top 4 or top 3. I know it's stupid saying top 4 and stuff like that, but let's face it, it's a club that's being rebuilt.
Rebuilt?
Yeah.
Since?
Since what?
Since the last 7
Since
eight-
Ferguson's left,
since,
it's being rebuilt.
Okay, and? Tell
You
me
spoke
more.
about David Moyes. I spoke about Jose. Van Gaal's probably having dinner somewhere. But yeah, it's being rebuilt. I mean, there's finally.
So you do know that there were these there were a lot of United fans, when Arsenal went into that 8 years and 10 years of not winning a trophy, and you started telling us that it's 10 years, it's 8 years since you've not won a trophy. You've entered that territory now, right?
Yeah, I mean, but we still have a couple of years.
And you
we're
know
not
that
Arsenal.
and you know that you've spent way more than Arsenal, and you've changed 3 managers in this time being. And you had David Moyes, then you went to Louis van Gaal, then you went to your favorite Jose, and now you're at Ole, which again, not a lot of you seem to be sure about Ole. So I'm just asking you, as a United fan and as United fans outside, what is the expectation? Because I am not getting the same. United fans are telling me, somebody's telling me we'll win the title, somebody's telling me we want top 4, somebody's telling me, this is funny because somebody's saying that let's finish second. I mean, who says in the beginning of the season, let's finish second? I was speaking to United fans and like, you know what, we'll finish second this season. It's like, who says that? Are you in the same zone of second?
First of all, do you realize that you have not taken a breath in this entire rant?
I'm very excited to talk about United.
That's not called excited.
Then,
Anyways, this was an attack. But no, I mean, second, I don't think it's realistic. Third,
But
fourth,
why?
maybe. No, because we still don't have the players. We still don't have that kind of team chemistry. We're still not there. We're still not the City Liverpool level. I'll be very honest before you attack me with your next weapon. But we're still not there. We're still rebuilding. I think we had a good end to the season last time. It was good bringing Bruno in. I mean, he was involved in 20 out of the 51 goals that United scored.
Absolutely.
The mentality changed. It was more attacking. You could see someone like a Greenwood come of age at such a young, time in his life. You had a
Great
Brandon
player.
Williams step in for a Shaw when he wasn't there. We have some defensive stability in terms of Wan-Bissaka. But that is the only thing. I mean,
technically, I agree with everything you're saying, right? And I also think that you will go this weekend and you'll smash Palace and you'll come back. But my problem is that what does United really want, in this season? Are you going to win the Champions League? Are you going to come? You want to come top 4, which you did last season.
I mean, yeah.
Then and now you bought Van der Beek for 36 million. You'll probably get Alex Telles for 20 million, and you'll probably get Jadon Sancho, which you guys are dying for another 100 million. So you've spent hypothetically, you spent 156 million in this window. After that, also you're telling me that United don't seem like that. You don't want to win the title. You don't think?
I mean,
you
of
can
course
win the
you
title?
want to win the title,
No,
but
don't you
let's
think?
be realistic. I'm not one of those plastic fans who will say, we will win the
No,
title
but
and shit like that.
No, but realistic is how much more you signed.
Realistic, that's fine. I mean, teams spend a lot of
You
money.
bought
City
Bruno.
spends so much money.
You bought
and
Bruno
still
in
came
Jan.
second.
You bought Bruno in Jan. You bought Van der Beek now. You bought Harry Maguire last
God,
season.
do not remind
you bought Wan-Bissaka last season. So you have the squad. I don't think that you guys should be nervous. Are you nervous about it because you feel overshadowed by Liverpool and Man City, and you feel
Not
that
at
you'll
all.
never ever reach?
Honestly speaking, after the restart, I don't think I'm nervous about anything. I know the form kind of dipped towards the end, because of the cluster of games, playing so many games and stuff like that. But now that there's enough time, they've had enough time to settle. I think the only thing which Ole also said last season was that these boys now know how to win. Now
Ole-
they need to feel the trophy.
But you guys are divided on right from Ed Woodward to Ole to Pogba to Luke Shaw to Harry Maguire. There's
We
a
have
division.
so many names, you don't even have so many
Your
names.
fans at the moment are divided on every single topic. You guys don't even know what you want in this season. And that is shocking. At least as Arsenal, we feel that, okay, top 4 is our thing. Man City know they want to win the title. Liverpool know they want to win the title. What does United want? Nobody knows.
United wants good football, pleasant football, and
No, where's
Lesser of
that
this.
United fan which I saw 7 or 8 years ago and who kept saying, oh, you don't know United, we keep winning titles every alternate year. Where's that?
I mean that's gone a little quiet with Sir Alex leaving, but I'm sure with this rebuilding process, I will have an answer for you soon. With
Why
all
is
this.
why is it such a disjointed fan base in the world at the moment? I mean, that's
I mean, it happens when you lose a manager of that stature and then you rebuild the team. I mean,
after all this.
at least unlike Arsenal, we did not throw our manager out.
After all this, you guys are upset because Spurs have got Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale has played for Spurs 7 years ago. You guys are actually upset. You should be happy that you
Who's
didn't get
upset?
Gareth Bale.
Spurs has Gareth Bale, United has Rahul Bale. There is absolutely
That's a
no
good one.
problem.
That's
There
a
is
good
no
one.
problem. We're
That's a
good
good
this
one.
season.
That's a good one.
So it's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to come out on
I
top.
think you'll smash Palace also.
I think we're going to come out on
Yeah,
top.
but you guys need to think about what you all want again.
I will once you free me of this attack that you have surrounded me with.
Okay, moving on to Everton versus West Brom at the Goodison.
That's a relief. So yes, Everton too strong for me. For West Brom. West Brom didn't really do much in their first game, to give me the impression that they will beat Everton, while Everton has overcome a great defensive side at home.
Yeah.
I mean, getting the goal, James, getting those 5 chances.
Which
I mean,
he created,
he
yeah.
looked good. He looked good on the ball. They have Calvert-Lewin. They have Luca Dean. They're creating it. They have a good combination amongst themselves. Calvert-Lewin being, amongst the top goal scorers. Luca Dean with the top assists. And Everton just look more solid with the ball in the middle, on the wings. They have the players. I just hope Richarlison is a little more clinical in front of goal. But I don't see West Brom coming out of this with anything. I feel Everton will probably go with another clean sheet.
Yeah,
But a win for sure, but I predict maybe a clean sheet as well.
Everton have only lost 1 game out of their last 11 in the Premier League against West Brom. However, what I really am coming to is that what should Everton's intent be in this game?
I think the team they've made, they have to look rather at Europe. They cannot be a mid-table side. A top 8 is something I would feel, maybe even target a top 6 if we're being too optimistic. But I think they have the side, they have the manager, and this should be a walk in the park for them.
And they should prove something, right, in this game.
They should, and that's what they should. They need to beat the smaller teams comfortably. So that's what I'm looking forward to this weekend.
All right, good one.
Moving on to Leeds Fulham. Fulham not having beaten Leeds in the last 8 games. What do you think is going to happen? They showed great heart in the first game against Liverpool. They look an attacking threat. What do you think is going to happen in this game?
Deja vu. I don't think that Leeds is. I don't think Fulham is going to beat them again, and Leeds is going to take the 3 points. They are at home.
Fulham had 8 minutes of fame versus Arsenal, and after that, the only difference I see is probably Mitrovic starting this game.
Yeah,
so
possibly.
probably a little more attacking threat that way.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
I think Leeds will be oozing with confidence in this game. Playing at Ellen Road for the first time in the season, amazing, man. I think I'm going for Leeds 2-1.
Oh, no clean sheet?
No.
So you think Fulham's going to score?
Yeah,
You
I
have
think that
Mitrovic
they'll
in
get
your
off the
fantasy.
mark, but they won't be able to beat Leeds. I think Leeds will beat them comfortably,
So
but 2-1, yeah.
Mitrovic in your fantasy.
I do have him. I hope he scores.
Selfish boy. But yeah, 2-1 to Leeds.
Okay, moving on to Leicester versus Burnley at the King Power. Does the Bardi party continue?
Absolutely. He's in my team. He's going to score. Burnley, not really sure how they'll come out of the blocks. First game of the season. So, probably take some time to click. But yeah, Leicester's been unbeaten in their last 9 games versus Burnley.
True.
I don't see this being a problem. The only problem I see is probably with NDD at the back. If you have a Chris Wood playing, those aerial balls that Burnley love playing in, that might probably cause them some problems. But Soyuncu looks pretty solid. Their wing backs look pretty solid. They keep the ball. They have an attacking lineup. So I don't see them having a problem. Probably a 2-0 or a 2-1 to Leicester. And Burnley will probably have to figure out how to come back from that. Because, again, like I said, I'm not really sure how they will play in their first game. But time to wait and watch.
True, I think I'll go with 2-1, man, on that one with you.
From being on the receiving side to being the aggressor. Arsenal versus West Ham. Not that I have too much on this game.
Why are you getting edgy with me? Anyway.
You were not very sweet. But anyways, Arsenal, happy with the form. West Ham, David Moyes, 2 of your favourites. Let's hear it.
Happy with the form. I think Arsenal, Oba signed the contract and very happy playing the first game at the Emirates. Thrilled. Easy win for me, for Arsenal.
It'll pinch you, right? If a David Moyes-led side beats you at home. What I will
pinch
do to
every
you
Arsenal
after
fan.
that, is different. But do you see West Ham? On a serious note, keeping all your hatred for David Moyes aside.
I don't have any
Do you
hatred for David Moyes,
Do you see an Antonio troubling your backline?
Yeah, I see Antonio troubling. He would. I expect him to bring in some creative midfielder into the team. Maybe Yarmolenko, maybe Felipe Anderson. I think, but I don't think overall. Probably they'll get 1 goal, but I think we'll outscore them by a couple. So
by a couple.
Yeah.
So you don't see 3 defensive midfielders starting, Mark Noble running back to his goal with the ball on a counter attack.
Ideally, they should do it in this game, and they shouldn't have done it at Newcastle. But the thing
Away
is,
from home.
yeah. and Arsenal's stronger team, so they should have done that. But I mean, who cares about West Ham?
I mean, David Moyes, ex-United manager, you're hurting my feelings.
Yeah, take them, keep him, call him
No,
back.
I don't want. No. I'm sorry. I didn't say that. But yeah, I mean, Aubameyang, 8 out of 6.
Yeah.
So, goal scoring form. Great goals, by the way. And you think probably Arteta will give the youngsters a chance in this game?
No, not at all. I think that we don't. I mean, he probably will play 1-2 of them if he has to, but I think we'll go in with the same squad which we played last week, and we'll get the 3 points.
And battle it out for 3 points.
Yeah.
So humility, respect, and humor.
Yeah, and Auba's legacy. That's the new thing now.
God. Okay, anyways, he's saying 3-0 to Arsenal. We'll leave it at that before the legacy.
I'm saying 3-1
continues.
to Arsenal.
Oh, so they are going to concede?
Yeah.
So
I feel
Leno's legacy will not continue?
Well, 3-1 to Arsenal.
Okay then. Our next game is Newcastle versus Brighton at St. James's Park. Newcastle being one of your favourites, what do you think is going to happen in that game?
I think Brighton's going to win the game, if anything, because I don't think that last week also when Newcastle played West Ham, I think West Ham self-inflicted those 2 goals rather than Newcastle actually doing anything. And on the contrary, Brighton played really well against Chelsea. They had 53% possession. Tariq Lamptey did really well. So I think that Brighton 2-1 to Brighton for me.
So that one from Callum Wilson, continue his scoring streak?
Yeah, he's a good fantasy option, honestly. He's 6.5 million and he's had 4 shots on target. I think I would only use him for fantasy, but I don't think that Newcastle can get a result here.
I'll probably go with the draw.
Yeah, okay. Moving on to Southampton versus Spurs at the St. Mary's. What do you think, Rahul?
My favourite manager in play. But no, I think Southampton, while they've had their good share of fortune and stats favour them versus Spurs, they've had 71% possession and stuff like that. They beat them last season as well. I just think
twice at home.
Yeah, I just think Mourinho is going to, while I hate saying this, but I think he's going to come out with something, different this time. I just want to wait and see whether he gives Dele Alli that opportunity after replacing him at halftime.
That's a good question.
But Harry Kane.
Lo Celso's back.
Lo Celso's back. I don't think he will start though. I think he has that firepower in midfield. He'll probably give him another game or 2. I am mostly, looking forward to seeing whether Dele Alli can come back, because then it affects the mentality of a player. Also, Dele Alli being one of the most influential players for Spurs versus Southampton. The other one, being Harry Kane, having 9 goals against them.
True.
Danny Ings, again, on Southampton, he had a great end to last season. Didn't really get a goal in the last game. Though they did keep a lot of possession in that game, they still lost that. So I just feel that Jose will come out on top in this one. He'll probably rally his troops more, give them some more shit in the locker room. And I think keep a clean sheet as well away from home. But I would go with probably a 2 or a 3-0 to Spurs.
Yeah, probably that. What do you think about the rumoured signings of Sergio Reguilon and Gareth Bale?
There are talks that are going on for Gareth Bale. I think it will be a great inclusion to the side.
Really?
I just hope Mourinho doesn't play him at left wing back. But
I think he's going to get Gareth Bale and then get sacked by the end of the season, and then Spurs are going to be left with nothing and Gareth Bale.
But they will still have Gareth Bale. We've all seen what Gareth Bale's done with Spurs in the past.
Yeah, 7 years ago, he's not the same Gareth Bale. He plays more golf than football, yeah.
But that will happen after his history at Real Madrid. But I think it'll be a great inclusion to the side. He has Premier League experience. I'm sure he's not lost his touch. So that is something, I look forward to seeing. Of course, in all probability, he will not feature this week.
Yeah.
But
if he's signed, that is. But however, I think I go with you 2-0 to Spurs on this one, yeah.
So Aston Villa Sheffield, our next game. Aston Villa, edgy end to their last season.
Yeah.
Just got away. How do you think that game's going to go?
Honestly speaking, this is a game which I don't know what to expect, because Sheffield showed signs of playing well. Aston Villa, we don't know yet, but I can just say that Aston Villa have signed Ollie Watkins, who's supposed to be really good. He got 25 goals in the Championship last season.
And he scored against United in the pre-season friendly.
Yeah, and they've got our boy, Emi, and Emiliano Martinez. So I think it's a great addition at the back. So
let's see. They'll be high on confidence with Jack Grealish also signing a new contract.
New contract, true.
So what are your predictions for this one?
1-1 draw.
Are you even going to watch it?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, last game of this segment, Wolves versus Man City at the Molineux.
I'm just excited to see what Pep throws out there, as a starting lineup. He's got most of his players back from injury. Messi's fit, looks good to go.
Messi is fit.
Yeah, I mean, accompanied by KDB and Sterling.
You're just so lucky that Messi is actually not at Man City, because then there would be no discussion about which is the bigger team, whether it's United or...
But is he?
I mean, Man City plus Messi is way bigger than United.
Is he?
Anyway, I won't... let's not get touchy.
Where's Messi playing?
In Barcelona.
Fun fact, where is he playing?
Where is he playing?
Where is Messi playing? In Barcelona.
Yeah.
So shut up. Anyways, so I really want to see what Pep throws out there. I mean, as for Wolves, I think they've had a great start. Got off to a flyer. They've done the double over City, which means, they will have that upper edge in terms of mentality. But what do you think City is going to come out with, especially with the backline?
Interestingly, you said that they've done the double over City, but Pep hasn't lost 3 consecutive games to any opponent in his entire managerial career.
Always the first time.
Yeah, well, there is, but I don't know, man. It seems like a good game. Wolves are in good form. City, I'm sure, are going to come out with a lot of intent, a lot of passion, a lot of desire, and probably I would go with City because it's their first game. They'll be pumped up.
They look pretty good after the restart.
Yeah, they've signed Ake. I think probably he'll start in defense.
The Chelsea reject.
And I think Aguero's fit, so he should be back also.
Which is another actually talking point between Aguero and Jesus. Which one he's going to start?
Yeah.
So, I somehow feel that Aguero, he is losing a little bit of confidence on him. Also because Aguero is picking up these injuries. But then again, he's been their most prolific goal scorer.
He is. But I mean, again, just talking about fantasy, I think I would go with Phil Foden. He's really, I think he's at the right price and he's been getting the goals last season.
So you think he's going to play the David Silva role?
Yeah, he's going to play that and probably a little more forward, and KDB probably a little back, but we don't know how it goes. So I think I'll go with it's going to be a tough game. I think 3-2 City.
And what about Wolves? I mean, you think they're going to bring in Ruben Neves again? Big game?
Yes, ideally they should. But I have I rate Dendoncker very highly. I think he's done so well. He's, and I think that even if he starts, it's not going to be too much of a difference, but he's really picked up his game. So Dendoncker...
Because Wolves is playing a different system this time, with Traore on the right.
Yeah.
I mean, City's not had their luck with left backs.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had Zinchenko, they've had Mendy, injuries, out of form. You think that is something they will, exploit with the whole Traore-Jimenez combination really working out well? Jimenez being the finisher he is, and them having, like I said, that mental edge over City. You think Wolves can probably do another one over City?
They probably can, but I really don't think it'll happen. But although having said that, Traore has scored twice against City in his last 2 games. So anything could happen, but it's just exciting to see, Wolves a little bit in form. City, as we all know, they'll be gunning for the title. So, yeah.
So who's your money on?
For this game, City.
What scoreline?
3-2.
3-2, that close.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a 1 or 2 goal game.
Yeah.
Probably a 1-0 or a 2-0 to a City.
To City.
Probably, yes. I mean, they came out really strong last time. Pep has probably rallied his troops.
Well, he'll be very happy with his defense if that happens.
Yeah, I mean, and especially, a brace by Messi will be great.
A brace.
That's it from this week's episode of All Balls. Here's a roundup of the games this weekend. We have the Manchester clubs back in action, but the big one to talk about is Chelsea versus Liverpool, Lampard versus Klopp at the Bridge. Hopefully, a lot of goals in that one. Please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, follow us on Instagram. Please do not hesitate to leave your predictions, comments, and anything bad you have to say about Arsenal in the comment section below.
Yeah, and if United fans, you find an identity, come and tell us what you want.
Oh, here we go again. But anyways, thank you for watching. Stay safe.